How y'all doing? Good. That's what we say in Missouri. You may not say that in California, but now you all can. How many of you have ever been to Missouri? 2, 3. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, maybe not. Well, I have a story to tell, and lots of them. And when I read the description of what I was going to talk about, I thought, oh, that's good to know. Good to know. So first of all, I'm going to let you walk away with, I'm going to teach you 3 techniques that you can walk away with and do today that you can apply to absolutely any aspect of your life. Is that okay? Yes. Good. So we're going to first learn a little bit about intention, because intention is everything. And when you set your intention for something, that means that you have an opportunity to accomplish it. If you don't ever set the intention, then you kind of come happenstance, come as what may in that capacity. We're going to talk about that later. We're also going to talk about how your emotional impact or your emotional program actually affects your physical body, which, sometimes that just kind of upsets me a little bit. Does it, it's just like, why is it that those things that happened when I was in the 1st grade are affecting me psychologically and now affecting me physically? We're going to talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to talk a little bit about visualization. And through visualization, I created a program called Holographic Healing. And it's a certification program for healing practitioners. And it's realigning the body through visualization, intention, and dealing with the emotional impact. And then we'll talk a little bit about the Selenite Swords of Light. The Selenite Swords of Light are a tool that I ran across in 2012, and it's been an amazing journey since then. As Tiras Tangila said, I had a car wreck in 1999. I actually experienced a major transformation. Some would call that a walk-in. There's some empty chairs over here. I don't know if they've got stuff on them, but there's, sure. And it might not be my best angle. But I experienced what some would call a walk-in. How many of you know what a walk-in is? Who doesn't know what a walk-in is? A walk-in is a person that has had a soul exchange. Now, quite honestly, I never would have believed that it was possible if it had not happened to me. But the soul that was born into this body due to a prior agreement, when given the opportunity to either leave the planet or have another soul come in to take my place, I opted for that. So instead of dying, I chose to stay in the body and have a new soul come in and take its place. Now, what that means, it's not a different soul. It's not some helter-skelter soul that's flying out in the universe. It's my soul that's actually several generations more advanced. And so it's like, so does that mean I can now sing? Does that mean I can play the piano? Not necessarily. And I said, well, couldn't you choose a little taller, thinner, less curvilicious body to come in? No, that's mine. And so that's a little bit about a walk-in. But in that process, I woke up. And this is a little bit about me, because felt like I was kind of sitting there as a child going, what do I do with this information? What do I do with it? Does anybody else feel that way? No, just me? That's too bad. Well, then this is just about me then. Okay, I do. You do? Okay. So let me come over here and talk to you. Okay. So, it's really one of those things. It's one of the most asked questions for Adironnda and the Council of Light, which I'll tell you about them in a minute, is what is my life purpose? What is my mission? What am I here to do, to be, to have, to experience? Anybody else feel that way? Oh, good. So I don't have to talk just to you. And that's what I was doing, is I was saying, what is my life purpose? Why did this advanced soul come into this body, and what am I here to do? And that's where intention comes in. And I was deacon in the Christian church. I was not metaphysical. In fact, I threw Shirley MacLaine's book out on a limb. Have anybody read that? It's all about channeling. Yeah. I threw it away because I thought it was sacrilegious, because they talked about channeling entities. And I'm like, but it kept showing back up in my car. And so finally I accepted that fact. I raised my hand in the 90s and I volunteered. I said, I will go anywhere, I will do anything, I will say anything, as long as you can prove to me that you are God or source energy moving through me. And I guess that was what it took to volunteer to be a channel of a 17th dimensional being. Had I known what I was saying in the beginning, I might have renegotiated that. But in recent years, actually this year, my business partner, Joy Roby, and I, we bought a studio and a recording studio. Well, we actually bought it during COVID because we used to travel 46 out of 52 weekends a year all over the world and do our thing, right? And then when COVID hit, we realized we're home for 8 days, and it was good. It felt really nice. And so we built a studio, and we also have a producer, a director, and a videographer who is all one person, who actually married Joy, my business partner. And we have a sound technician, and we created a sitcom based on our adventures called Two Girls in a Galaxy. Because this is what I felt like before Two Girls in a Galaxy. I was on the scenic route, but there wasn't enough light on my path. So this is our sitcom. It's online. It will be on YouTube. We only have one episode on YouTube right now, but it comes from a membership. But is it okay if I show you just a real quick scene? This actually happened in my life as I was awakening. It's just a real quick one. If you can't, hopefully technology will be my friend. So let me raise your hand if you can't hear. That's what I looked like in the 90s, except I was younger then. Oh, I'm getting younger, aren't I? I'm just gonna have one more cup of coffee before. Hello. This cannot be happening. This cannot be happening. I am deacon in the Christian church. I cannot have a man on my couch. Oh, thank you, God. I must have been dreaming. Who are you?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I think I used to know, but for some reason the answer escapes me at this moment.
How did you do that?
Do what?
How did you get to the window?
I just thought, I'd like to look out the window right now. And there I was, looking out the window.
Oh, this is bad. This is really bad.
Why's that?
Well, because you should not be here.
Why is that?
Well, I am deacon in the Christian church, and things like this are just not supposed to happen here.
Why's that?
Well, never mind. Just don't move. I need to make a phone call.
Okay.
Oh, I said don't move.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Stop that. Stop doing that. Go to the couch. Stay there. Don't go anywhere. I'm just reaching for the phone.
Hello?
Oh, thank goodness you picked up. I woke up this morning and there's a man on my couch.
Congratulations. I wonder if that's the one I was picking up in your energy field during our session. He seemed like a real catch.
He's not that kind of man.
Oh, what kind then?
The not normal kind. He keeps appearing and disappearing, and he doesn't even know who he is.
Ah, he's probably dead then.
He's what?
He probably crossed over and doesn't realize it. Tell him he's dead.
Why can't you tell him?
He's not gonna be able to hear me.
Oh, jeez. Okay, hold on. You know you're dead, right?
I'm what?
Dead.
Well, that's news to me.
So in that scene, which actually physically happened, it was one of those things that I had all these metaphysical experiences, and I had no clue what to do with them, no idea. And so, as you saw in the video, intention is everything. He said, I just thought I'd like to look out the window, so therefore he went to look out the window, right? Now, it would be nice if I would say, oh, I would like to be in Missouri now instead of California without packing up all my stuff and have all my stuff just show up there. It doesn't quite work that way. Not yet, anyway, but we're working on that. So it's really a matter of really connecting your intention with what is working in your world. Now, this is where you can see all episodes. This was episode 5 of 2 Girls in a Galaxy. And in the lead up to that, I was awakening to my own spirituality. I had not anybody that I could really talk to about it, except for the girl that answered the phone. And she was my energy worker. And when I became a Reiki master, I realized I could actually physically see into people's bodies. And that was wild. And then now I teach other people how to see into people's bodies and do healing work with them. So in that capacity, though, in 2009, we started the double digit, which is based on the double digit of the month. Like several of you have a book. If you didn't get a book and want to have one, I'll be giving them out tonight too. So, and tonight's at 6:30. Yes, 6:30, right here. And but it bases the double digit of the month, the healing energy of the month, like 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. 8/8, Lionsgate coming up in August. And so we actually broadcast 2 Girls in a Galaxy on the double digit each month now. Holographic healing, let me go back. Holographic healing is the technique that I teach, and it really works through visualization. You know, you can visualize something, and as you're visualizing something, your energy through intention can actually shift the receiver of that energy or your own energy. You know, you can say, I've got such a headache, and your headache will actually get more intense because your intention is, I've got such a headache. However, if you say, this headache is leaving right now, it's smoothing out, and the pressure that I'm feeling on this side of my head is just diminishing right now. And that gives that headache then a chance to heal itself. If that doesn't work, this is a technique we teach in holographic healing. Does anybody ever have any headache or pain in their body or anything? A couple of them, yeah, good, yeah. Not that that's good, but if you take your hand and circle the energy 3 times, and then take a hold of that pressure point like it's a lid of a jar, and turn it in the opposite direction, pull it out and snap your fingers, the pain will diminish. Did that happen with anyone? Yeah, try to do it again. Take where's your discomfort?
Counterclockwise.
That's a great question. She asked counterclockwise or clockwise. Follow your own guidance. If the pain gets stronger, go the other direction. So if the pain is here, so circle the energy 3 times. Take a hold of that energy, just like it's a jar lid. turn in the opposite direction, pull it out, snap your fingers. Better? One more time. 3 times the charm, right? And if it gets stronger again, circle the energy in a different direction, the opposite direction. Turn it in that opposite direction, pull it out, snap your fingers. Better? Yeah, woohoo! Did you learn something? Yay! So that's one of the techniques that we teach in holographic healing. I also teach people how to channel. I believe that everyone is a channel. I believe that everyone has the capability to bring in their own guidance system, their own energy field, their own guides from somebody else. Some people have a little trouble getting connected with that energy. So what I do is I help them connect to their own guidance system, because I figure if I can do something, everybody can do it. And with that comes the energy of clarity, information, and it helps. You can visualize that energy, but you don't have to, because that energy is already there. And that's what we do in the Channelers Academy. So always remember that intention is everything. I mean, well, everything is energy, right? You know, Dr. Emoto, his work, how many of you are not familiar with Dr. Emoto's work? Dr. Emoto, was a crystallologist in Japan, and he proved after 15 years of study that water actually responds to human emotion. So he took frozen crystals of water and polluted water, froze in like blobs, and spring water froze in beautiful crystals, right? Well, and if you took polluted water and send it love and healing, then it would freeze in the beautiful crystals. And if you took good, pure spring water and sent it hate, I hate you, nasty stuff, you're no good, it will actually start freezing in the blobs. And I figured, well, if that's possible, then everything is possible as well. Who believes that everything is possible? Oh, good, you got a bracelet. Everything is possible bracelet. Oh, you get a bracelet too. Oh, you can have that one. You get a bracelet too.
Thank you.
If you would like a everything is possible bracelet, not these kind, but the rubber kind, come by our table. It's over in the back corner in the room, and you can have a free one. And so, because everything is possible. So with that energy, with that intention, just like she just moved her hand around and pulled something out, that's the intention that goes behind the physical movement. So with that, I do the same thing in teaching people how to channel. So intention is everything. Everything is energy. Where your intention goes, your energy follows. So how many of you have in-laws or family members or somebody that you might not be quite as excited that they're your family? Anybody feel like that? I mean, or maybe you're people that you know, you're like, okay, go away. So remember, every single time you complain about that family member, that relative, that friend, that is your intention. So whatever they're doing is whatever they're doing that you don't care for because you're complaining about it, then that energy is getting stronger because that's your intention. That intention of stating, why can't my husband, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend be more positive? They're just complaining all the time about something because I'm a positive person, right? They should be a positive person too. Keep in mind that's your purchase order to the universe. Why can't they be more positive? Instead, they can't be more positive. That's your purchase order. So instead, catch them being positive. Say, oh, I love the way you combed your hair. Oh, I love the way you did this. Oh, you did that great. And catch them being positive, and then that energy of your intention will come back closer and closer to you. So one of the things with our awareness bracelets, is what we call them, is you put it on one wrist, and then every time you catch yourself complaining or thinking negative thoughts about yourself or someone else, you change the wrist. You do not flip yourself. We do not believe in pain. You change the wrist, and that helps you learn how many times, first of all, you have a negative thought about yourself or someone else, and it also helps you break that habit. And the objective is to keep it on the same wrist for 21 days, which means you broke that habit. There's a chair here and there's a chair over here, I think. Come in. The more the merrier. We all have personal air conditioners, don't we? So keep in mind that the more you complain about something, that is what you're creating, and that's what the awareness bracelets are for. So, our emotional imprints. In holographic healing, we teach that everything has a cycle, and all of our emotions, all of our patterns, all of our programs, all of our emotional traumatic events have happened before. It may not be the same situation, but it is the same response emotionally. And they repeat every 7 years. Well, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? I mean, come on. Why do we have to repeat something every 7 years? So when you think about all of your, say your relationships that soured, or your friendships that soured, if you make a list of all of those relationships and the way you felt when they soured, not necessarily what the situation was when they soured, but the way you felt when they soured, and then kind of go back every 6 or 7 years, you'll find some incidents there that you felt the same way. And then you go back another 6 or 7 years, and you found some incident there that was about the same thing, where you felt the same way. And if you can, go back to before you were 7. That's where your Akashic records come in. Anybody not know what the Akashic records are? The Akashic records are every thought, idea, instance, conversation, situation that you have ever had from the inception of your soul. And it is recorded in your field, which is 26 feet across. So all y'all are in my field. It's a fun place to be. And it's 26 feet across, and that's recorded there. And through the Akashic records, you can actually get to those memories that date back to when you were in the womb. When you're in the womb, my business partner Joy and I have talked about this. When she was in her mother's womb, her mother was very, very conscious of not ever gaining a pound. Very conscious. My mother was not. And you can see, well, Joy, you want to stand up? She's like, no. Beautiful, tall, thin. Right? Thank you. Sorry about that. But that's what happens. And that was things in the womb. When I went back in my Akashic records, I was asking, what is my relationship with food? And I was the youngest of 4 children. My oldest brother was just 5 years older than me. And then there was one 4 years older, and then my sister's 2 years older. So I was the baby for about a minute. And so my mother had 3 other toddlers at home. So I saw in my vision, because visualization is our next step, that the only time I really got my mother's undivided attention was when I was nursing. I was like, oh my goodness. So I lost 20 pounds after that. So understand that those impacts can affect where you are right now. Now, illnesses are the same way. Say you have somebody in your life that has been diagnosed with cancer. First of all, keep in mind how I said that. They've been diagnosed with cancer. They don't have cancer. Because if you say, oh, they've got cancer, then they own that cancer. And so do you. They've been diagnosed with cancer. So a diagnosis of cancer is old unresolved anger. You know, and my mother, who was 96 when she passed away, and was a wonderful, wonderful person. And I told her about this. She had colon cancer and had a surgery at 94 and maybe 93. And we talked about that afterwards. And she said, you know, Mary Jo, which is what she called me, I'm not angry about anything. And it's like, okay, so how do you feel about Dad, you know, passing away 11 years ago or whatever? And she's like, well, I was upset with him because he never even talked to me when he was in the hospital. The fact that he was intubated didn't make any difference. So that was unrecognized anger, right? Now, did that cause the cancer? Probably not. But then when she was a child, and then she would continue to tell me these stories, and she said, so when you release those, does that mean that you can heal the cancer? Actually, it's possible. Why is that possible? Because everything is possible. And in today's world, it is powerful. And when you couple the emotional impact with the physical ailment, you can release almost anything, if not everything, once you finally get it. Does that make sense? A few years ago, I died actually. I fell and had surgery and went to the hospital and blah, 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 was intubated for a month and ICU, the whole story. But the doctor said I would be on oxygen 24/7 after that. Hello, that is not my reality. And that's the key of that. So keep in mind that when you have a physical problem, I have a friend that after she got the vaccination for COVID, she has had psoriasis ever since. So I asked her, why did she get the vaccination? She says, well, I hated to get the vaccination, but I had to keep my job, and I couldn't believe it. And she went on and on and on and on and on about how terrible the vaccination was and how it did the horrible, horrible things to you, which it still was. Right, for her, exactly, for her. So I talked to her about that, and I used intention. So instead of thinking of how terrible that vaccination was, I said, why don't you think of that vaccination as just a test for your ability to visualize? So visualize any dregs from that vaccination that your body does not need. Let's just pee it out. She spent the next 3 or 4 days in the bathroom, and the psoriasis started to clear up. So it's the intention connected with the emotional response connects you there. Oh, then we have visualization. I didn't put a slide in for visualization. Sorry. I was working fast. Visualization, what I do when I go in is I visualize that body part. You know, when I first saw the connection in a human body when I was doing Reiki on someone, I was surprised that their insides of their body looked like they had ropes in their stomach area. Now, this woman couldn't eat. I would go out to lunch with her, and she would just really push her food around. But she wouldn't eat because every time she ate, she had terrible stomachache. And then I talked to her about her family and what life was like when she was eating it as a child, and alcoholic father and abusive mother, blah, blah, blah. You know, that everybody's got a story, right? Everybody's got a story. And then I went in and visualized untying those ropes in her stomach. And I didn't know if it was work, and I didn't know what would happen. But I visualized it, and my intention was to release her pain. And she could eat after that. She didn't have a stomach ache. So did I do that? Heck no. She did that because she had to untie those ropes as well. So that's kind of what happens through visualization. Then you have the Selenite Swords of Light. Now there's, thousands of tools out there that you can use. And everybody's got the tool of the day. This is mine. A Selenite Sword of Light. This is made of selenite. It's made by a friend of mine. It has a broken rose quartz tetrahedron on the end. Inside, there's over 400 chakra balancing crystals. There's a vial of ayahuasca. There's a vial of holy water. There's all the symbols and artwork for the Lemurian tones, all the symbols and artwork for the Ascended Masters. There's sand from the pyramids in Egypt. There's sand from the desert where Jesus walked. There's sand from Machu Picchu in Peru. There's dirt from Mount Shasta, as high as you can get to Mount Shasta, in human form anyway. And so they assist with the energy. So take a deep breath and just kind of breathe that in just a little bit. They are a connector, and they are releasing whatever you choose to be released, or amplifying whatever you choose to amplify. And we'll do a little more of that tonight at 6:30. You'll have, I don't know if I can do it right now because I'm going to go into channel in just a minute. Can you tell? But, let me unpause. Anyway, let me go back there. I physically, of course, that's not one of the big positions, but physically can't stand on one foot. I broke my foot a few years ago, and I'm not able to, I have no balance. I think that must be my intention. Anyway, that was somewhere, I don't know where we were. That was Big Sky, Montana. Adironnda is the spokesbeing for the council that I channel. Adironnda is from the 17th dimension. They came to me. I'm going to take my shoes off because I'm going to go into channel in just a minute. I'm going to have a quickie from the timer. You see how I stand on my one foot, right? Okay. Adironnda came to me and tapped me on the shoulder every day at 4:44 a.m. and woke me up with my stereo playing rock music. I listened to NPR, National Public Radio, and it would play rock music every day at 4:44 a.m. And with that, this is a mass exodus. Nobody wants to listen to a channel, right? You are the brave ones. So with that energy, Adironnda came in. We showed how that happened in the Two Girls in the Galaxy. It's a long story. But it was one of those situations where they're from the 17th dimension. They came in immediately when someone pointed out that I was not present in my body, and she knew what to do about it. And miraculously, to me, Adironnda came in. You can tell they're here. Okay, well, so that was this big light too. And that big light. We'll go on. So they come with a council of 12 or more. Archangels, angels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Master Yeshua, Jesus, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Isis, Osiris, Ra, Sekhmet, who's the goddess of destruction and the goddess of creation, Egyptian goddess with the head of a lion, body of a woman, which we've learned when we went to Egypt, that's who wields the Selenite swords. And tonight we're going to have a Q&A with Adironnda. Heart to heart is what we call it. Well, there you will get the opportunity to come up and go one-on-one with us, and we'll answer as many questions as we can. But right now, I've got 10 minutes left, right? Okay, so is it okay if I just get out of the way and you've learned everything you're going to learn until they come in? And I'm a trans channel, so my head doesn't spin around backwards. I know, so disappointing. I also, lucky for you guys, I don't split out green pea soup or anything. But Adironnda, the purpose in them coming to Earth is to help humans feel they're a messenger from Source or God, and their purpose was to come in and help every single human feel what it feels like to be held in pure, total, complete, unconditional, infinite love. They said because the humans on Earth are just not getting it quickly enough. Now, can you imagine what the world would be like if everyone could feel that love? I love to imagine it. So anyway, I'm going to get out of the way. Usually I teach people to do a little thing to say something, but I'm going to do it inside just because I only have 10 minutes, 9 minutes. So take a deep breath. So it is good day to you, huh? It's very good to see each of you. We introduce ourselves. Our name is Adironnda, and we bring with us an entire council of beings of light that are here on your behalf. And we're going to let the vessel Marilyn stand for the time, because if she sits down, we can't see her. We can't see her when she's standing either. So, you are the light plurkers of this planet. You know that, don't you? Now, you might think that you're a light worker, but who wants to work? We like play plus work, which equals plurk. So you are the light plurkers of the planet. You are the next step. You are the ones who are carrying the vision of the new energy, yes? You are carrying the light, and you're holding that intention of being the wise one, even though sometimes you may not feel wise, of being the enlightened one, even though sometimes you may not feel so enlightened. But you are still acknowledging that. And you know that it is important because the bells are ringing. Just like there's no accidents. There's no accident that all of a sudden all the technology and all the beautiful pictures that the vessel Marilyn put in the videos and blah, 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 while we were talking, they don't matter. What matters is you. And you. And you. Each of you. Because your energy is what is changing this planet. Your energy is what is coming in through the back door, maybe, to acknowledge the life and love that you are. And with that ignition of love, to know that intention carries that frequency of acknowledgement. Many years ago, before I actually came through her, our vessel Marilyn, she's the one that talks so much. Our vessel Marilyn said, you know, I am so much fun. People should just pay me and to hang out with me. Huh? And guess what? People do. They go to Bimini to swim with wild dolphins. Huh? They go to Turkey to go into the catacombs where the aliens landed. Huh? They go all over the world. So she got her intention, and so can you. So what is it that you intend? We're going to activate it here in just a moment. If you have one intention, who wants to speak one intention? Huh? Just shout it out. Yes.
Beautiful relationship with my daughter.
A beautiful relationship with my daughter. Who would love a beautiful relationship with any daughter? Yes, you would, of course. You have an intention.
I don't have a daughter.
You don't have a daughter. Do you want a daughter?
Well, I wanted a relationship with somebody.
So a beautiful relationship, huh? Who else has an intention?
To remember my healing ability from past life.
To remember my healing ability in past life. You don't understand that ability, it's all there. But it doesn't matter. But so many times we take so many classes and so many things and get so many tools and so many activations that we think we have to do it right or do it a certain way. Your soul already knows all the healing practices. You just get the opportunity to point the energy. Huh? Yes.
Facilitate healing at the soul level for people.
To be able to facilitate healing at the soul level for people. Yes.
Get clarity on what's my purpose in life.
Get clarity on what's my purpose in life. We can help with that, huh? Well, we can help with all of that. So what we're going to do right now, just for a few moments, is to activate that. Now, normally, we would walk amongst you, but that's not going to work out too well as we're wielding all the Selenite Swords of Light here. So we ask each of you to hold this intention, whatever you would like to create, in your heart, in your mind, in your energy, and we're going to activate it. Is that all right? And we don't ask you to hold whatever you want to integrate and let go of the old patterns in your heart. We're just going to take care of those. Is that all right? Oh, good. We're glad when you say yes. If not, we would simply stand and look at you for a few moments. So take a deep breath. And also understand that our energy does shift with the Selenite Swords of Light. And Sekhmet, who's on the council, comes in. And you are blessed. You are the light planners of this planet. You're also light workers. We know our vessel, Marilyn, and Adironnda, our friend, likes to have more fun than that. We are not necessarily fun. We challenge you to be all that you are, to be all that you are here to be. You don't know what that is? What do you love? What do you love doing more than anything else in the world? You can make a living at that. Did you know that? Someone asked us that once. We asked someone that once. And they said, I love taking care of dogs. And I love looking in people's windows. Not as a, what do they call them? Peeping Tom. Or peeping Valerie. And so she created a job where she became a professional pooper scooper. So she got to go around and play with the dogs and scoop up their poop. And she got to look in people's windows at the backyard. She didn't hurt anything, she just was curious. And she made a nice living for that. So what you love, you can have. What you experience, you can do. What is your intention? Your intention is the power place of this universe. Dearest beings of light, you are the reason we are here. To help, to assist, to breathe into that presence that is truly you. We are here to help you find your bliss, because life is simply spiritual. We are here to help you find what excites you, and then help you live that excitement. We are here for you with love, with light. And we'll take volunteers for the relationship. Huh? You see, everything is possible. And the minute you think that it is not, it becomes so. It becomes impossible. But you see, even the impossible becomes possible because it says, I am possible. Huh? Oh, dearest beings of light, we love you so much. We see you. We know you. We honor you. We feel you. We are you. And we bid you namaste. Well, kind of. It must have been Yeshua possibly at the last there, because they pull me inside and I go, woo, you know, because their energy is so loving. Thank you all so much. It's time for me to go. I'll be here tonight. I'm playing here all weekend. We have a Q&A at 4:00, and then this evening at 6:30, we're going to have what we call heart to heart. We may rearrange things a little bit, and that way you can come up and sit in front of us, and every question that's asked will be for everyone. So I hope to see you there. Love you all very much. Namaste, y'all.